On the channel from the WWE Ultimate Edition Series 12, we've got The Fiend.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Ultimate Edition unboxing and review. And today we got Ultimate Edition Series 12, The Fiend. But remember, for all your WWE Mattel needs, including The Fiend, hit up Wrestling Collector's Shop. Use discount code Kyle and discount code Kyle10 to save. So that's exactly what I did, and I got The Fiend in hand here today. As always, I got two of them. I got one for my Min on Card collection. Got one to unbox right here, and we're going to see what all the fuss is about. But first, we got to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to see where it goes from there. And we'll do some comparisons along the way, so stay tuned for those. Of course, Alexa Bliss is the other one in this set. We'll also unbox her on the channel, so stay tuned for that review as well. Subscribe, hit the old notification bell, all that fun stuff. But without further ado, let's look at the package on The Fiend. There it is, that familiar Ultimate Edition packaging. The regular series, I guess this isn't the fan takeover version. This is a regular series. These will be available at your Targets in the future, so stay tuned for that. But if you want it right now, like I said, Wrestling Collector Shop has it, and you can save using the old discount codes. But there it is. As we're accustomed to with Ultimate Editions, we got extra arms, we got extra hands, extra heads, we got a jacket. Really the last go around on The Fiend. This could possibly be the last Fiend figure we ever get. Who knows? Maybe he'll come back someday. I gotta think we'll see The Fiend sometime again. Maybe it'll be 20 years from now. Who knows? But I gotta think we'll see it again someday. Stranger things have happened, I would imagine. And people always come back eventually. And there's too much money on the table. And at the end of the day, it's all about the money. So I gotta think we'll see The Fiend once again. Time will tell. But there it is in the package. Very familiar packaging with that red background, the white in the front. Ultimate Edition logo right there. On the side, a little glamour shot action of The Fiend. I know a lot of people display their Ultimate Editions this way, like a library book, and you see The Fiend right there. WWE logo at the top. The Fiend Bray Wyatt on the other side, and I guess this represents kind of his last match ever. I believe this is the WrestleMania gear, so we kind of do have the evolution of The Fiend Bray Wyatt. You can really put up a cool display in your detolf if you're like me. You can put them all kind of in order of, here's where he started and here's where he went. We needed that Husky Harris one, though. I'm disappointed we never got the Husky Harris. But there's the back. Glamour shot of the figure. Glamour shot of him in the ring. Of tail of the tape. All the fun stuff. Let's read. Let's see what The Fiend has to say today. All right. The Fiend Bray Wyatt. 6'3" from parts unknown. Beautiful this time of year. I heard he actually lived around the block from, you guessed it, the Ultimate Warrior. Finisher, the Mandible Claw. Career highlight, the Universal Champion. It says down here, The Fiend is back. Randy Orton destroyed him in the fire, but at WrestleMania 37, Bray Wyatt was reborn. More monstrous than ever. After all, The Fiend wasn't gone. He was trapped. But you can't trap the darkness forever. All you can do is let him in. So, truer words never been spoken, I guess. It says heel on the bottom right there. And then on the top, hurt. So always those nice little Easter eggs we get on some of these Ultimate Editions. And then the Ultimate Edition's much like a shoebox. We know you can just pull it out, save it, and you can put it back in if you want and do whatever you want. I'm going to get the old see you later off to the side. Now we get down to the old brass tacks, the old plastic prison. There he is. Look at all that stuff in there. A lot going on inside. And we got to get him out of the packaging here. Let me grab my scissors. Should have had them on the ready, but, you know, I'm not quite a professional at this yet. I'm still learning my ways. Still learning my ways here. We got the little twist tie things, little buckled in action here. Not terrible, I don't think. We got the calves, of course, on Bray Wyatt. You always got to lock them in at the feet, because I guess if an action figure is going to come to life and it's going to run away, it's going to start with its feet, so you got to do that. Let's get that jacket out. Get that head, hand, arm, and finally the Fiend. There it is. See you later. Off to the side. And clean up in aisle 7. There it is. We're ready to go. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to the accessories like we usually do first. We'll start with a pair of hands. Whoa, as I'm throwing them around. We've got 2 open grip hands. No fists with this Fiend. We're fistless. No fisting with this Fiend. Nobody's fisting anybody today. We got open hands, though, if you want to slap somebody. I'll save the Will Smith jokes. We've heard enough Will Smith jokes. We're not going to go to it. But heel and hurt, of course. We know all about that. So choose your own hand adventure. You want gripping hands or you want these. Or mix them up, have one of each. Who knows? Choose your own hand adventure. We always love to do that. Of course, like we saw with the prior Ultimate Edition Fiend, a bit of a 2-in-1. To me, I don't feel like I need two versions of this Fiend, where the Alexa Bliss, I feel like I need two versions of that. Very strange, because they're very similar. Both have extra heads, both have extra outfits. But for some reason, I don't feel like I need two of these. Maybe if it goes on clearance, maybe I would. But you can have him with the long kind of entrance jacket going on, or you can have him in his wrestling gear. So once again, much like the hand adventure, choose your own Fiend adventure. But we get these two double jointed elbows, pinless as well. Pinless double jointed elbows on the coat. We'll do these in the glamour shot like we always do, of course. Then you get his coat that the hands or arms go with, of course. So you got that, very penguin-esque. He's got the old tails down here like a young penguin wears his cane. All black, kind of leather jacket inspired. Got the silver studs on it, silver buttons. But yeah, it's just Fiend ring gear. So nothing crazy out there, nothing super, super crazy, but it is what it is. But then we get down to the Fiend figure. And first, of course, we'll start with the articulation. The head is removable, hands removable, as we know. You got the big bicep cut up there. The arms move up, down, all around. A lot of articulation in the arms. Even got a little bit of drop down, like we usually see with the G.I. Joe classified figures. It's got the drop down hips. We almost got a little bit of drop down arms on this one, which is interesting. It is not butterfly like we've seen with some Ultimate Editions, but there is a little bit extra there, but it does pop out as you saw right there. So that's okay. That was just a user error. I thought if you put the arm up, it would fall out automatically. Fortunately, that is not the case. You got double jointed elbows here, but we do have pins on this arm where these do not have pins. So you guys know once you go pins, it's tough to go back. So that's something I really noticed, especially on the Jazzwares figures. You can really notice those pins, but you really notice them on here too. It's weird how one set of arms does not have pins, one does. I'm not sure why it's not uniform, so that is a little strange. Double jointed at the elbows, hands removable, of course, side to side, up, down, all around, as we're used to. Big diaphragm in the middle there for the Fiend, plus the waist. You got little 2 points of articulation kind of in the midsection. Head removable as well. The head is very Nightmare Fuel. He's got the big old Cheshire Cat grin going on. It's got red in the paint. I always think of it, I always try to tell myself in my head that it's blood. He's got like blood all over his mouth and stuff. But very Nightmare Fuel-esque. A little bit bird beak-ish. I always feel like this one does look like the glamour shots we got from Mattel when they were soliciting this for sale. I feel like the nose with the big cut back in mouth, the nose has a little bit of a beak look to it, so it does look a little beakish. Plus the mask is a little farther off from the top of the forehead. So it's just very bird-like, I feel. But maybe that's just me, a user. You choose your own adventure, how you feel on that. 2 beady red eyes there. One eye is redder than the other. I think that's just paint application issues. He does got his little dreadlocks going on, the blonde, and you got even the nice attention to detail with the dark at the roots. I like that there. You do got the stitching on the side, very cool, into the sculpt. So we got that going on. Nothing here. It's kind of weird. I don't know if he is. I felt like there was like a little bit of white in here, but it's all black on the sculpt. There's nothing going on. And that might just be me not remembering correctly. He's got his finest pair of Virgil-esque pants, a little darker than Virgil used to wear, but he's got the black stripes on the red, and then you got the boots with the red and the black attack going on. Toe articulation, got to have it in the Ultimates. If it didn't have it, we'd be writing a letter to Mattel. We'd be boycotting if we didn't get our toe articulation. Got ankle articulation, very, very tight ankles, which I prefer tight ankles because nothing worse, and it happens with John Cena and the sneaker figures. They get that creep forward, especially John Cena. He's always leaning forward, falling over. That's always an issue with the ankles, which you don't have any of that here, of course. You do got double jointed knees, double jointed knees going on here. Pins down here once again, so very weird. I feel like the Ultimate Editions should all be pinless, and we've seen pinless joints, so I don't know. We're kind of in that weird bizarro phase in between pinless joints, but not terrible. It's not terrible here. I guess we could change this up real quick. See you later off the screen. Pull this off, so you pull the arms off very easily, plug and play. Slide this bad boy on, you just slide it right over him. You got to get it underneath his hair, though, for the full effect, of course. Pop this arm in. There's one. Uh-oh. Popped in the wrong side. You got to make sure you put the right arm in, the right and left, you know. It's not the easiest for a guy like me. I'm still learning my right and left. Uh-oh, that one's falling out. Let's get that back in there. So really, I don't know. It depends how you like your Fiend. I will probably display him this way just because you guys know I'm a sucker for the pinless joints. So I'm going to have to do that. Boy, that's tight to get that hand in, but once again, you prefer the tight hands. And we're off to the races, and there you go. So you got not a terrible difference there. It's just a little overcoat on him, really. Not a lot going on, but we do got a stand for him. Of course, he'll fit on the stand, I would imagine. Yes, he does. Fits like a glove. Not terrible, not the greatest thing in the world. We do get this extra head here. This one doesn't look as beaky. Like I said, bird on this one. This is the extra head. It's got the hair to the side. Same kind of hairdo going on. I think I do prefer this one. I like the open mouth on this one and showing his tongue in there. So that is a really good look on this one. And this is a different point of difference. And really, if you don't care, like I'm such a crazy person where I want to keep this stock as possible, but I know a lot of people say, I'm going to move this head here, that head there. You could take either of these heads and possibly move it to some of your other Bray Wyatt figures to get your Ultimate Fiend. But let's grab a few other ones out. We got the Ultimate Fiend from before. Not a terrible figure. I don't know. It is what it is. As much as I like face paint and mash, you think I'd be a bigger fan of the Fiend, but it's okay. I respect him. It was something different for sure, but I don't know. It feels like Fiend overload in figure form, which is hard to comprehend for somebody like me, but it's all right. We got the Elite Fiend, of course. Got to have the Elite. He was also a top picks at one time. The latest Fiend Elite was a very interesting one. A little bit bigger, heavier set, but still a very, very cool looking figure. The old Burnt Fiend, of course. Very cool moment in time. I do like this one a lot. It has grown on me, I would say. So we got that. And then this is a sleeper Fiend, and I know it is just a basic, and I believe this is last year's, the 2021 WrestleMania set. That's this Fiend, and I really do actually like this Fiend a whole lot, so I have that in my Fiend display with my Bray Wyatts and things like that. But we've had quite the amount of Fiends over the last couple of years, and will this be the last go-around? Will this be our last Fiend? I guess time will tell. But what are your thoughts on this Ultimate Edition Fiend? Did you pass on it? You picking it up? Was there enough meat on the bone for this Fiend to get here? It was a bit of a head-scratcher to me in the Ultimate Edition. Truth be told, I think this would have worked better as a traditional Elite. I just don't know if this warranted the Ultimate. Since we already had an Ultimate Fiend, I don't know if we needed two, but you know, people could say that about the Ultimate Warrior. Do we need 2 Ultimate Editions? Yes, we need 200 Ultimate Edition Ultimate Warriors. It's Ultimate after all, and Ultimate. There's nobody more Ultimate than the Ultimate Warrior. It's in his name. Come on. But you know, Hulk Hogan got multiple Ultimate Editions. The Rock, John Cena. I go on. So maybe the Fiend is warranted. He is definitely toyetic, there's no doubting that. And I do think we'll have more Fiends in the future. I don't know when, but I just think there's too much money to be made, and you got to follow the money. I don't care if you're working at the grocery store, you're working for the WWE, or you're working wherever. It's all about the money at the end of the day, for good or for bad. And I think there's money on the table here still. And WWE will capitalize on that, and Mattel, in turn, will capitalize on that. So there you go. But let me know your thoughts on this one. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. And don't forget to follow along on Patreon. That's where you can get this video and a lot of videos early. Weeks, sometimes months earlier on Patreon. Plus giveaways, exclusive videos, a lot of good content on the Patreon. A lot of fun over there. So join up. Link in the description below. And then, of course, follow along on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for the Fiend Bray Wyatt Ultimate Edition Series 12, I am Kyle. I will see you guys all real soon.